this video is going to have two parts. First off, I want to welcome all our new members to Watching Watchtower here on Facebook. We've had a lot of new people that have joined lately, and I hate to welcome you guys under such tragic circumstances. However, this is a great reminder of why we do what we do and why we stick together, and why I think it's important to remember that we are brothers and sisters even outside of the organization. So I want to talk about what no one is talking about with regards to this shooting. It is a tragedy. It's a tragedy. And it's a tragedy in more ways than you think. It's a tragedy that so many of our former brothers and sisters that get disfellowship from this organization end up falling into a self-destructive lifestyle and killing themselves because they truly believe that they have no hope. I mean, what's the mentality of so many of us after we left, after we got disfellowshipped, after we got cut off from our families, maybe fired from our jobs that were business owners that were owned by witnesses? Our mentality and belief is that it didn't even matter if we were good people, because it wasn't enough to be a good person. We were always taught about the flood and how there were probably a lot of good people when the flood happened that were still destroyed by Jehovah. So when you get disfellowshipped or removed from the organization, you're shunned by this organization. And by shunned, completely cut off, dead. You are treated as if you have already died. And we're always told that Jehovah is going to destroy those who have turned his back on him, either at Armageddon or forever. They'll die without the hope of a resurrection. So I guess my question is, especially to the elders and to the governing body, which probably don't really care that this happened, what do you expect? What do you expect? I mean, let's see here. You remove a brother who you have not given social and coping skills to deal with the real world and with the realities and the consequences and the circumstances of the real world and day to day. You shun him, you tell him that or at the very least, you instill in him the mentality that it doesn't matter what he's going, what he does or what he does good, because he's just going to be destroyed at Armageddon anyways. So being a good person doesn't even have any merit at this point, because in the eyes of Jehovah, he's dead. You take away his family, like in the 2016 convention video where the daughter is calling the mother, who is still a witness, and the mother ignores her call, which is completely encouraged and completely treated as okay and the right thing to do. It said that it was also said that one of the witnesses that he killed was his former employer. So let's see. So now you strip him from his job, on top of cutting him off from his family, on top of instilling in him the idea that he's probably just going to die at Armageddon anyways. And then you wonder why someone like that would shoot up a place. What do you expect? What do you think is going to happen to some of these people? Do you know how many people have committed suicide after they've been disfellowshipped, after they've been cut off from their families, from the organization, from the light, from the hope, from thinking that they have favor with Jehovah, to now feeling like they are condemned? You know how many people and former witnesses that I have met that have said, well, I guess I'm just going to die at Armageddon, so it doesn't matter anyway. And they really believe that. They really believe that. They believe that because of some of their inherent qualities that are in contradiction to a lot of the beliefs of the witnesses, that maybe they can't help, like being born gay, that they're condemned. And this is the type of mentality that the organization breeds. This is what they do. This is their MO. This is what we were taught. When somebody got disfellowshipped and I felt like they had a bad attitude about it, when I was a witness, I was happy to think that they would probably be destroyed at Armageddon. Remember the scripture in Revelation about how the birds are going to eat their flesh off the ground? Remember how we would go out in service and sometimes talk about, ooh, I want that house in the new system? There's nothing right about this mentality. There's nothing healthy about this. And so to me, it's the chickens coming home to roost. Or as the saying goes, the rooster's coming home to roost. In other words, this is the mentality that the organization is breeding from the top down. So what do you expect? The only tragedy that I could think of that really, really bothers me is the woman and the unborn child. Now that one, that's sad. That's sad. But you know what? That wasn't helped by the organization at all. They cannot plead ignorance and claim total innocence in a situation that they helped create and help create every single day. Even down to lawyers that fight for them, like Massimo over in Europe, in the European Human Court of Rights, or Court of Human Rights, who I've actually talked to and had a conversation with, who actually says that disfellowshipping should be enforced as a right, even though it's completely destructive, regardless of its destruction. So then my question is, what are we doing as a community? I've been talking about this for years in my group, and I've been saying that we need to find a way to light a fire under the asses of the attorneys to continue to make this a human rights issue and to make the destructive traits of disfellowshipping known. Because this is destructive. This destroys people. Disfellowshipping destroys people. And it's horrible that this happened. But it's another example of just how damaging the whole act of disfellowshipping someone is. You know, I'll even play devil's advocate here for a minute. If you were to disfellowship someone on the grounds of them not being an exemplary witness, okay, so be it. They're not an exemplary Jehovah's Witness, so they no longer should be recognized as a Jehovah's Witness. Fair enough. But to completely make their family cut them off for life, no matter what, cut them off, is completely unnecessary and uncalled for and destructive. And I think that this is another reminder why we in the community have to continue to take a stand against disfellowshipping, and we need to push this shit until it's a human rights issue, and people here and attorneys here recognize that this is a human rights issue. A religion does not have the right. I don't care what the fuck the law says. They do not have the right to continue to enforce the idea that disfellowshipping, i.e., not removing someone because they're not exemplary. Okay, that's fair. But cutting them off is okay. Cutting someone off for life and barring them from their families, that is not okay. That is not how we treat human beings. There should not be any belief system out there where you have to feel obligated and pressured. Otherwise, you'll get disfellowshipped and cut off too, to cut them off. To completely cut them off. And to make them think that they are doomed to die by the hands of God. And to strip them of that hope. What do you think someone will do like that when they have lost all hope? Because I've known many of them who have committed suicide, who have gone down the path of drugs, alcohol, promiscuity, and other things that are self-destructive because they have lost all hope, because you took their hope away from them. You took their family away from them. Maybe you even took their job away from them. And somehow this is okay. Somehow this is okay. So I wanted to talk about the aspect that nobody's talking about. Everybody has been talking about, oh, this is terrible, and it's terrible for the families. And you know what? It is. It is. And it is horrible. But what people aren't talking about is, what do you expect? What do you expect? Because I can guarantee you, all right, I'm not over there in Germany. I'm here in America. And I can guarantee you, I bet the people that he killed were probably the people who fired him from his job and probably the elders who supported him being disfellowshipped. As for the mother and child, I don't know about that. And to me, that's the saddest part of the story. You know, I don't believe you should kill an unborn child under any circumstance. And that one is horrible. But you know what? What do you expect? What do you expect when you remove all hope from a human being after giving them no coping and social skills, cutting them off from their family, cutting them off from their livelihood? What do you expect? So, like I said, I hate to really say hello to all of our new members under such sad circumstances, but you know what? This is a teachable moment, and this is a reminder of why we are in this fight together. So, I hope everyone watching this feels inspired and feels empowered nonetheless, even despite these circumstances. And I hope that the people watching this and the new members of Watching Watchtower feel motivated to take a stand, and to remember to take a stand and to keep fighting, even if it's one step at a time. Because even though we escaped the burning house, our brothers and sisters are still in that burning house. And we have to try every day to try to wake them up and get them out, because they know not what they do. And I can guarantee you that if they knew better, they would not be doing what they do. And to you elders, you governing body bastards who continue to enforce this disfellowshipping doctrine, this extremist disfellowshipping doctrine that destroys the lives of so many people, I have no mercy on you, because you know better. There's a difference between you and the rank and file witnesses. And the difference is, you know better. All of you elders who are protecting these sexual predators, who are callously enforcing this disfellowshipping doctrine, who are cold-hearted yes men, all of you damn cowards, I don't think anyone should have any mercy on you, because you know better. And that's the difference between you and the rank and file. The rank and file don't know any better, and they need help, and they need our encouragement. But you elders, you circuit overseers, you governing body members, governing body helpers, all of you know better. And you should think about the lives that you destroy and help destroy. You should also hold yourself accountable for that woman and that child that did not have to die. Because if you weren't enforcing such a harsh and destructive doctrine, they would still be here. They would still be here. So I blame you two for some of it. I blame you guys too. You cannot say that you did not play at least a small role in this. And this is a horrible thing. To anyone watching this who might feel compelled to do something like this, feel free to join my group. Feel free to join an XJW community so that you can heal yourself, and that maybe instead of doing this, you can become an amazing activist, and you can take all that anger and all that energy and you can channel it in a way that might make you one hell of a badass activist, so that we can continue to liberate our brothers and sisters and to continue to put force and light a fire under the asses of these bastard elders, these circuit overseers and governing body members who disfellowshipped you and made your life a living hell.
Another disturbing creation from the mind of one sick and who can't tell the difference. They get stupefied.